The Win Records deal, $8 million deal. Where would Papoose get $8 million from to give to Claressa for fights? When we got pawn shop receipts from Remy Ma of Papoose pawning, is this a chain or a jacket? A bracelet? A necklace? Remy Ma claims that Papoose pawned her bracelet because he needed cash. She said he was broke. He didn't help.
The rumor that recently surfaced on the internet is the kind that explodes upon impact. So stop scrolling right now. In a matter of minutes, people were left staring at their computers, wondering how a tale this crazy could even come to light. Timelines erupted and comment sections were angry. There are speculations circulating that surprising accusations, contentious claims, and law enforcement rumors are all somehow coming together to form one explosive story. And the pace at which this is happening is frightening. The turmoil has not decreased despite the lack of confirmation. All of a sudden, well-known names are included in the same.
Papoose is out here looking for a trick. And he got one. Yes, beautiful girl, beautiful, gorgeous girl. Y'all ain't gonna tell me Claressa ugly. I'm sorry, she's not. She don't care what 50 Cent got to say. At this point, the way 50 Cent running through women around here, I don't even think he really like women.
Phrase. And the ramifications alone have the power to destroy reputations. Fans were taken aback. Feelings erupted immediately, and the internet did what it does best: take sides before the facts were known. Some claim that this is excessively careless criticism, while others maintain that something more significant is going on behind the scenes. The speed at which conjecture is turning into reality is what makes this moment so perilous, not what has been demonstrated. Rumors are being viewed as proof, silence is being seen as guilt, and the public opinion court has split the family. This is no longer merely rumors. This is the type of internet frenzy that, as soon as it gets viral, transforms everything. Pay.
She was live in the Louis Vuitton store buying Louis Vuitton bags and a duffel bag. Posted the receipt of the duffel bag online. Had Papoose give her a Louis Vuitton box with a duffel bag in it and forgot that she had posted the receipt stating that she bought the duffel bag that he gifted her. Then she said, hey, can you get this online so people would think you bought me something? Okay.
Close attention to what is happening on social media at the moment. It feels more like a storm that won't go away than ordinary celebrity gossip. Fans are glued to their screens, group chats are popping, and timelines are buzzing as frightening. Rumors involving well-known names and an accusation so serious that it has completely divided opinions start to surface. This is a wave of assertions that individuals believe are being discussed loudly in public places and whispered behind closed doors. But it is neither a verdict nor a confirmation. According to reports, Papoose's name has been brought into the story through late-night hearsay and unconfirmed contacts. And Tasha K has once again been thrust into the spotlight after supposedly bringing up a very personal claim related to Claressa Shields. When an apparent medical claim was brought up, many people immediately raised an eyebrow and questioned how such a serious subject had even come up. Fans were taken aback, feelings were running hot, and the comment sections swiftly became arenas of belief and skepticism. Where there is smoke, there must be fire, according to some online voices, while others maintain that this is just another instance of internet pandemonium getting out of hand. Dramatic reactions are being analyzed frame by frame, screenshots are being discussed, and anonymous insiders are being quoted. This can't be real, but why is everyone acting like something big is coming?
Don't know where she got it from. Win Records. Y'all have to watch Claressa Shields' cousin's interview. Even though y'all had a disdain for her, I don't think she was lying on Claressa. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second.
Reportedly wrote an admirer. Silence. always means something. Watch what happens next," retorted another dot, as if that weren't enough. Reports of an FBI arrest started to circulate with the allegations, escalating the already tense situation. There are no formal declarations, no verified records, merely a growing sense that something explosive is being hinted at but never completely revealed. The family grew divided as supporters took sides and critics questioned motivations. Furthermore, when everyone thought the drama had reached its pinnacle, their quiet made the story appear even louder. At this time, rumors start to circulate and queries begin to surface. The tension only grew as the online conversation moved from shock to speculation as fans attempted to understand how these identities even got into contact in the first place. According to rumors, all of this is the result of numerous purported late-night interactions that happened away from the public view. Some blogs mention whispered meetings, while others imply fortuitous encounters that later developed into something far bigger. The way the story spread gave many people who were watching from the outside a sense of realism, even though none of it has been confirmed. As the narrative developed, surprised and angry comments began to circulate along with Claressa's Shields' name. Supporters rushed to defend her, pointing to her public persona, discipline, and the lack of a verified statement to support their claims. This time, a fan claimed that the internet had gone too far and that it was cruel and hasty to even bring up such accusations in the absence of proof. Another said that before the truth had a chance to be heard, such rumors have the ability to destroy reputations. Others, on the other hand, focused on Tasha K, who was readily held accountable because of her tendency to cause trouble. According to rumors on the internet, she had made references to private material in conversations that were never meant to be disclosed outside of specific groups. Some contend that she never made any explicit allegations, while others insist that her comments were meant to provoke this exact reaction. Emotions were running high, as quotes, videos and first-person narratives were circulated and reposted, with each iteration being slightly more dramatic than the previous. Adding Papoose's name only made the situation worse. His position in the story was the subject of fan speculation, which ranged from a benign relationship to something far more scandalous. His alleged nights with Claressa were the basis for the entire story, turning personal relationships into a public spectacle, according to a source quoted in online discussions. Papoose's supporters vehemently objected, saying it was unfair and damaging to include him in such accusations. Comment sections turned into online battlegrounds, where friendships and allegiances were tested. Some asked for receipts, while others advised against believing anything without formal confirmation. As these stories continued unchecked, strangers conjectured about how loved ones might be feeling, bringing the people's families into the discussion as well. The public's perception of the family was divided. Some people remained mute in the hopes that the storm would subside, while others firmly supported their family members. One of the most talked about elements of the story as the hours turned into days was Claressa Shields' silence. Supporters debated if keeping quiet was a premeditated move to stop the story from spreading or a sign of confidence. Some believed that legal teams were already involved behind the scenes, indicating caution, even though the internet did what it always does. Others thought that a simple denial would have put an end to it. But there was no such declaration. Rumors kept spreading in the interim, adding new information that made the situation even more murky. Law enforcement interest began to appear in posts and videos, with some acknowledging the FBI's involvement in passing, but without giving specifics. Even though these claims were vague and often contradictory, they were dramatic enough to grab attention. Suddenly, instead of just accusations, the tale was about prospective investigations and impending consequences. Remote spectators reported being exhausted by the chaos, but they were unable to look away. One viewer remarked that it was like watching a reality show in real time, despite the fact that the characters were real people with actual lives. Another said it was hard to ignore the emotional impact of the charges, but it was more difficult to know what to trust because of the numerous turns. During all of this, voices calling for responsibility were hard to hear. Some reviewers cautioned viewers that it is risky to make health-related claims while presenting them as entertainment. They urged people to remember that rumors can have detrimental long-term impacts regardless of their veracity. However, louder, more dramatic interpretations that hinted at shocking revelations to come occasionally overwhelmed subtle hints. As the discussion continued, the topic progressively shifted from the original claim to the impact it was having. Instead of just discussing facts, fans were now examining motivations. Why would someone allow such a rumor to proliferate? Who benefits from this illness? Is it about revenge, power, or simply the thrill of witnessing a famous person falter? These problems remained unsolved as the plot continued to take unexpected turns, leaving the audience divided between interest and mistrust. Online sources claim that the growing stress began to show up in the reactions of individuals closest to the problem. According to reports, Claressa's friends were angry and irritated because they believed her hard-earned reputation was being used against her will. One alleged close acquaintance claimed that Claressa had fought her entire life to be valued for her strength and discipline rather than reduced to rumors and whispers. A single comment received thousands of responses, many of which expressed the same dismay at how quickly the story had become ugly. On the other hand, conversations about Tasha K became more divisive. Her supporters said that she was unfairly chastised for repeating what she said she had heard from others. Critics responded by saying that repeating unsupported claims is the same as making them. Some even said that this specific period felt intimate, as if long-standing examined every interview clip, live stream, and prior feud in an effort to uncover clues as to why this tale had now come to light. People's emotions were running high. Papoose's silence was another important element. Supporters expected an answer, a refutation, or at the very least a vague statement, but none came. Other hypotheses emerged as a result of this absence and quickly gained independence. Some said that his staff was advising him to keep quiet in order to avoid legal problems. Others claimed he was shocked to be brought up at all and didn't want to address the rumor to prove it. In any event, his name was still trending with such serious claims, which unnerved fans. As stories spread, screenshots and alleged text conversations began to surface, but none of them were verified. A timeline showed fuzzy pictures and short conversations, each of which was the puzzle's missing piece. Discrepancies were highlighted by skeptics, who pointed out inconsistent dates and unclear usernames. Believers, however, argued that even fragments suggested that something was being hidden. As the argument heated up, people took sides based more on who they trusted than on the facts. There were speculations that the family of those engaged were greatly affected by the OUDNESS.1 letter said that a family member was begging everyone to cease disseminating misleading information because they were becoming stressed. Another said that family members were trying to shield one another from the worst of the hacking by having secret conversations behind closed doors. The family disagreed on whether to fight back or wait for the storm to pass. In addition to public opinion, the tone of the discourse shifted again when some fans began to question the media's involvement in disseminating such stories, with each artist adding their own dramatic twist and disclaimers being made in passing and quickly forgotten. Reaction videos multiplied. Viewers saw how easily speculation may turn into fact after being repeated numerous times. One comment claims that the internet has assumed the roles of jury, judge, and executioner without ever asking for evidence. Rumors of official participation persisted. There were still vague allusions to authorities and investigations, often without citations. Some claimed to have heard stories of government attention, while others saw it as pure fabrication meant to scare people into silence. Nevertheless, viewers were enthralled with the concept's aura of mystery and fear. Even if it contradicted the last update, each one seemed to offer a different twist. Amid the chaos, a few voices tried to alter the story. They asserted that this had less to do with a single accusation and more to do with how quickly news circulated online. They issued a warning about the potentially catastrophic consequences of health-related rumors, especially those connected to stigma. The theatrical videos that promised shocking insights garnered more attention than these posts. Fans expressed conflicting emotions. Some admitted that they were enthralled with the drama even though they knew it was wrong. Others said they couldn't stop watching even though they felt horrible about it. The story's uncertainty and the constant suggestion that a great revelation was about to happen were what made it so emotionally appealing. This expectation was what sustained the conversation more than any actual facts. Over time, the uncertainty became a battle unto itself. There are more and more viewpoints stacked on top of each other, yet there are no conclusive affirmations or denials. People began to wonder if the truth, whatever it was, would ever surface, or if it would only be recorded in the history of internet scandals. The names implicated continued to trend, not because of new information, but rather because the story had turned into a mirror reflecting how quickly gossip can triumph over reality. The atmosphere grew more heated as more commentators joined the conversation, each claiming to have insider information or a source. Dramatic pauses and provocative language that hinted at disclosures without really making them were interwoven across hours-long live streams. Viewers were glued to their screens, waiting for more conjecture to pile on top of conjecture, rather than the one statement that may make all the difference. People are in shock at how quickly the problem transformed from hearsay to a full-fledged spectacle. Some comments on the internet claimed that Claressa was angry behind the scenes because of character assassination rather than fear. According to these accounts, she was questioning who she could trust anymore and how her reputation became entangled in tales that depicted her as careless or reckless. She allegedly complained to close pals on gossip pages about feeling duped by the profession she had worked so hard to succeed in. These stories, real or imagined, added emotional weight to the drama that was growing. Tasha K's platform became a battlefield in the meanwhile. Every post she made, even ones unrelated to it, was inundated with comments criticizing her for going too far or requesting clarification. Supporters encouraged her to hold tight and commended her for being bold and gutsy. While critics warned that limits had been crossed, the conflict between the right to free speech and accountability has become a major topic of discussion in comment sections around the world. Some argue that the way the allegations were phrased allowed them to spread without being held accountable, causing harm while hiding it behind the term alleged. Papoose's name kept up in odd places. Reaction channels scanned his earlier interviews for anything that may be construed in light of this new viewpoint. Everything seemed suspect to those who were yearning to connect a pause here, a giggle there. Some disagreed, saying that this strategy was unfair and manipulative. However, a narrative proceeded, incorporating further historical occurrences into the present storm. Fans and spectators started to notice that strangers were also being affected by the story. Athletes, musicians, and influencers who had previously been seen with any of the personalities involved were suddenly thrust into conversations they had nothing to do with. There were questions, assumptions, and requests for clarification. Illustrated how quickly rumors can proliferate and harm entire social groupings. People's emotions were running high as they realized how easily association alone may become a disadvantage. Another twist was provided by a few legal-minded onlookers. They talked about accountability, slander, and the long-term consequences of repeating unsupported health claims. The intense energy that characterized most videos contrasted sharply with their calm, collected tone. Many fans applauded this development, calling it a much-needed reality check. Others rejected it as evasive or boring, preferring the thrill of ambiguity over thoughtful discourse. Like a shadow, the idea that the government was involved lingered. Every time a rumor seemed to be fading, someone would bring up investigations, again sparking interest and worry. Despite the lack of official statements or supporting data, The phrase "arrest rumors swirl" continued to appear in captions and thumbnails. It became clear that the suggestion was adequate to maintain viewers' curiosity. Regardless of its validity, there were reportedly tensions in private life. Posts said that families were having a hard time explaining to younger relatives why their names were trending for all the wrong reasons. One alleged insider claimed that when people started to wonder who may speak next or reveal additional information, trust issues were emerging. The family was divided between those who wanted to confront the noise head-on and those who believed that silence was the best course of action. As the days passed, some spectators grew weary. They began to question why they persisted in following a story that offered no obvious answers. Others reported that as part of their daily routine, they now check the drama first thing in the morning and last thing at night. The cycle of outrage, expectation, and disappointment persisted because of the conviction that clarification was on the horizon. One topic kept showing up in more quiet parts of the internet. They considered how easy it is to make serious topics funny. They emphasized that behind every headline, there are real people dealing with fear, concern, and confusion. Even if these voices didn't become viral, they connected deeply with people who were willing to pause and listen, unresolved. The narrative persisted not because of facts, but because of the audience's collective imagination, which yearned for drama and importance. As the narrative progressed, an odd shift began to take place. What started off as loud accusations and dramatic framing eventually turned into a test of everyone's endurance, because the audience seemed divided. Once daily authors began to space out their uploads rather than because they had answers. Some wanted the story to end while others wanted it to keep getting more dramatic. In addition to the accusations, fans are shocked by how long uncertainty can last without a resolution. There were rumors that talks were happening behind closed doors that would never be heard by the broader public. Counselors, lawyers, and representatives were reportedly recommending care and warning that anything said online might have consequences. According to these rumors, some people felt torn between defending themselves. Quiet, formerly seen by critics as guilt, started to seem more like self-preservation to others who were observing more closely. The emphasis shifted back to Claressa's alleged emotional state. Instead of anger, stories spoke of exhaustion. Posts said she was focusing on discipline, training, and creating a routine to deal with the noise. By posting motivational films from her history, fans reframed her as resilient rather than defensive. This reframing did not completely eradicate the rumors, but it did decrease their impact on individuals who wanted to believe in her authority. Rumor has it that Papoose was annoyed because his name kept coming up without his voice being heard. It was speculated by commentators that he felt like a shadow used to build tension in someone else's book. Some supporters argued that his restraint showed maturity, while others insisted that it was a planned silence. Again, for many viewers, perception became reality and evidence was replaced by interpretation. The public's opinion of Tasha K's role was constantly shifting. Some began to see her less as a whistleblower and more as a representation of how commentary culture thrives on the edge of implication. Discussions on relevance versus accountability emerged, posing the question of whether voicing grave concerns without offering evidence helped the public or merely caused chaos. In response, supporters said that since suffering often precedes the truth, it is crucial to ask questions. The dispute itself created a new level of drama. Reaction videos shifted from shock to analysis. The creators slowed down their speed to examine not only what was said, but also why it resonated so strongly. They talked about how viewers are trained to expect scandal, how repetition can make even the weakest rumor appear important, and media trust. Emotions were running high throughout these chats, not because of new knowledge, but rather because viewers could relate to the enthusiasm. The arrest rumors, which had been the loudest hook, began to dissipate. Without confirmation, they grew less severe, but never entirely disappeared. They continued to serve as a cautionary tale. about how easily authority can be utilized to bolster a story, because they thought that formal action had already been taken. Some viewers admitted that they had shared posts without thoroughly reading them. That realization led to uncomfortable reflection, according to reports. Close friends and family were encouraging everyone to step back and recognize that life exists outside of screens and comment sections. The primary subjects of alleged private advice were long-term reputations, mental health, and the fact that the internet never truly forgets. The family was divided more by strategies than by beliefs, with divergent ideas about how to go forward in a world that mainly depends on response. As this chapter came to a close, the audience itself seemed to mature. Its comments became less explosive and more curious. Some others wondered what proof actually looks like in the age of clips and commentary. They wondered how many other stories they had accepted at face value. In the middle of turmoil, this shift gave a pause and a collective breath, but it did not offer closure. The story remained unsolved, caught between rumor and reality. There was no dramatic discovery or final statement to close the loop. Instead, what was left was a lesson wrapped in show. Viewers were left with pieces, sentiments, and unanswered questions. One thing became apparent to many who were paying close attention as the excitement gradually faded. The biggest drama sometimes has less to do with what actually happened and more to do with how quickly stories may develop when uncertainty and attention mix. Even once all the layers of the tale have been exposed, the conversation doesn't stop here. The real issue is not whether these claims are accurate, but rather how you understand them. Do these comments demonstrate how powerful rumors and speculation have become in today's media environment, or are they merely loud internet comments that turn into tremendous drama? Supporters are still in shock. Emotions are still running hot. And ambiguity permeates every discussion on this problem. In this case, your voice matters. Do you think this kind of reporting goes too far? Or do you think stories like this, even when they are framed as charges and criticism, should be freely addressed? Is silence always an indication of guilt? Or is it sometimes a way to protect oneself from ongoing public pressure? Please feel free to express your thoughts in the comments section, as each point of view adds something new to this evolving conversation. If you want in-depth analysis of dramatic entertainment news that are full of emotional conflicts, unexpected claims, and surprises, make sure you enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest rumors, commentary, and viral stories that are dominating social media. The next surprise could emerge at any time, so don't forget to turn on notifications. Keep up the discourse above anything else. Share this video with your friends to see how they comprehend all that has been demonstrated. Instead of just watching the drama unfold, it's critical to investigate, evaluate, and understand how quickly narratives can evolve in the modern world. Your point of view could be the next catalyst that changes the course of this conversation.